Hi, this is Linda, and I'm doing a tutorial today for digital and SVG designs for you, and it is called her High Tea Loaded Seed Coin Envelope. So what you're going to need to do first is print out all your pages, and when you're printing them out, you need to decide if you want to back them. I like to back them, and she does provide these backing papers. That way when you fold your envelope, it's not white on the inside. So print out all your envelopes and all your pieces. We've got quite a few envelopes, so you can just select one or two right now if you want. They all have different images on them. And she puts a ton. When she says loaded, she means loaded. Here are the pockets. Got some little mason jars. No need to back these. Here's the ephemera that goes in it. We've got some little cute shaped things here. We've got tons of butterflies, little sayings that we can do. Again, there's some more mason jars. We've got some little circles, some tickets, some more little sayings, some more ephemera. There's some cards. And here is all the backing paper that you can choose from to back your cards. I backed mine with an additional layer of cardstock. I just like mine a little bit heavier, but if you don't want to do that, you want yours a little lighter weight, just take your ephemera, your cards, and your little jars and tickets, and then back it with this from your printer. It has some with writing on it, and then some pretty flowers in a teacup. So that's what you need to do for now. I'll give you time to catch up with me, and we'll start making this tutorial. Thank you. Okay, we've got all of our pieces cut out. I have already scored mine. If you have a scoreboard, that's great. You can just use your scoreboard. Or if not, that's all right too. You can just take a ruler. Let me grab one here. Line it up and just crease it like so, and it will fold. Not a problem at all. You don't need all the fancy stuff. I went ahead and put one of the little buttons on here with the brad. You can see the little brad there. And we'll do this one so you can see how I do it. This is a perfect 1-inch circle. So if you have a 1-inch circle punch, that's great. If not, you can just do freehand and cut out your circles. I do like to back mine, and this is craft paper. You don't have to use that. I just like them to be a little bit more sturdy so they hold up, because this would be only one layer of cardstock. If you don't have craft paper, you can just use some of the backing paper, like so, and cut out your little 1-inch and then glue them all together like I'm fixing to show you. I use Aleene's tacky glue. I like it because it's a little bit thicker, and the cap, you can just set it up there and it's always ready to go. Just line up your circles. Just give them a little twist, then push it down. And put another layer. Just makes them a little bit more sturdy. And then I'm an inker. If you like to ink, that's great. If you don't, not a biggie. Just ink them up. Then you can take, I have a pokey tool. Just Let me move this out of the way. Just put it in the center. Poke your hole. If you don't have one of these, just get a big safety pin, and that'll poke a big enough hole for your little brad. If you don't have brads, you can always use the little dimensional pop-ups. You can get them at stationery stores, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, wherever. You could just put one on the back too. So we're going to take our little brad, put it through our hole here, flip it over. There's always, on the brad, there's always one side that is longer than the other. Then just give them a push down, and there you go. And that would be for our twine, and we'll get to that. Now, on this one, we're going to glue our little tabs on the outside of the back. What you want to do, so you do not want to get any on the inside of your envelope, and there's a couple of tricks. You can just grab a piece of cardboard, not a piece of paper, because if you were to get glue on it, then your paper's going to be stuck. You could just stick that in there like that if you want it. Another thing you can do is you can run a fine line of glue right down the edge. Make sure there's none sticking over. And then put some glue on your tab. Do not come up to your fold line here. Stay away from that fold line. Oh, say 1/8 of an inch maybe. And if you get some on it, you can always just wipe it off. You get a little bit too close, then I'll show you another trick before it dries. And just fold it in, fold it over, and give it a press. This is also when your cardboard would come in. While that's drying, you could just stick that in there. That way it's going to assure that if it gets stuck, it's going to stick to your cardboard, which you can, it's strong enough to pull out. And we're just going to glue the bottom. Stay away from the fold at 1/8 of an inch. Let's say you made a mistake and you did get some in there. All you have to do, because it'll just be a drop or two, is just to take your ruler and run it in there and gently, just back and forth, and that will free up any little glue that might have got stuck down. Just give it a press. I do not burnish my envelopes because I don't want them real flat. I want them kind of full so you can have room enough to stick all of your cards and everything there. Now, you can use whatever you want. This is crochet thread. We're just going to tie it around the bottom. Put it in there, pull it pretty tight. And I usually do 2 knots. Just kind of slide your scissors in there and clip it off. Then we're just going to, when we're done, we'll just tie it around like so. Cut it off. I always put a little knot on the end so that it doesn't fray. So that's what we're going to do with that. Now, if you wanted to embellish the back, which I usually do, there's all kinds of things included in this kit. There's some extra butterflies you can put on there if you want. There's a little word you could glue down here that says unforgettable. And that's what we'll do. This is just extra. It's not necessary that you do this. Just have fun with it. Play around with it, see what you like to do. You don't want to get too close to this so that your thread might catch on your butterfly. And I use Vintage Photo Distress ink. That's my favorite ink that I use. It just seems to go with everything. There. Now we have a pretty back. I have cut out some of the cards and stuff for the inside, and I have already backed them also. And I did not print on the back. I actually printed out the piece and glued my card onto it and cut around it because I like my cards pretty sturdy. And we can just fill it up with as many things as we want. And you can even put the little tiny mason jar in there. There's one of the little strawberry ice creams you can put in there, and it will hold much more. And even though they're small, you just can tip it and everything will come right out. Now for our front. We've got our pocket. And each of the envelopes has a pocket that matches. So when I put the pocket on top of here, you'll see that she has designed it where it finishes off the picture. Here's the cup, and there goes the bottom. And the handle on the cup comes around, and I just cut it out, inked around it, glue our tabs, just get your bottom even, make sure your sides are even, and just give it a press. And to double check it, you can always turn it over and see if anything is sticking out on the edges, and you know you need to move it over a little bit. Just get those tabs pushed down, get them stick. And she made this pocket so perfect that even part of the little cherry finishes on the bottom. Very clever. Here's the cards I made to go in to my front pocket, and I wanted one identical to that just to match. It's going to stick in there. Then I cut out one of these little things. I rounded the edges. And we've got another little, this one is Absolute Pure Spices. Stick it back there. And on this one, I punched the little hole, and there is, it comes with a little hole on the card. Let me find one here and show you. Here you go. This little hole. And if you don't have a hole punch, then you can again use your safety pin or a pokey tool, whatever. And I just put a little metal eyelet in there. You don't have to do that either. You can leave the little hole as is. Then I cut out the little tickets, and one of the little sayings, never regret anything that made you smile. I backed it on a piece of the backing paper, and I just cut a strip out, folded it the length I wanted so that it was longer than my little saying, glued it together, and then just glued the little saying on top of it so it's nice on both sides. But I like little dangles. And this is just chiffon ribbon. Comes in a big roll. I ordered it off of Amazon, very inexpensive. And you just put that in the back, like so. And I put another little jar. Stick them in there. Now if you wanted to embellish your pocket, I've cut out some of the butterflies. We can put, camera here, we can put him there, and all I do is take my fingernail, hold it, and then just bend the little butterfly, and then you can see this little part. That's the only part that I'm going to glue. And we can put him right there. And then I cut out the high T and inked around it. I'm an inker, as you can tell by my fingers. They're always ink stained, but it makes me happy. Put it right there. Now, if you did want to do the dangles and you don't have any bulb pins, there's lots of things you can use. Little baby safety pins, you can pick those up just about anywhere and just hook everything on it. Or you can use a jump ring. When you use jump rings, don't pull them open this way. You want to twist them, and then you can twist them back to close it, and it's perfect. Another thing you can do with one of the cards, if you wanted to decorate them, this long strip, and it was like so, I just cut off and made a little pocket. You can just glue the side and the bottoms. Get it glued on there. And if you didn't want such a big pocket, there is another strip that you could use instead, or you could even put this there and have a double pocket. Then I cut out this. It's lighted with beauty, sparkling with grace, and I backed it. Put it in there. Another one of the little tickets, and the little edges of the tickets you can just use with your hole punch, but instead of coming in straight like you would normally punch a hole, just line it up, if you can see where there'll be a white piece there. Let me grab one. Here we go. If we were to cut this out, you would have this extra white here. Just line that white right up with your punch at an angle, like on the side, and then it's perfect. If you come in like this, it doesn't always work because the edges may be longer than the circle. But if you just hold it at an angle like that, it'll work for you every time. We put our little tabs in there, a little ticket. And we can either put it in here, or we can stick it in the front. Either way you want to do it. And there we go. There's our loaded pocket, and you can add more cards. The pocket does have tabs, so there's lots of room in there. You can just put some more, and on the inside too. And don't worry about using them up because it is a digital. You just print out some more of whatever you would like. Another thing that you want to do, one more thing I want to, before we close, is if you wanted a pull, take a butterfly, and I backed him so he's strong, and we can glue him on. Glue. I'm going to glue right up to where his wings separate there. glue him on. You could angle him if you wanted. Just get him centered. Press him down, and now you've got a little pull for your card. It's all about having fun. Enjoy yourself and get creative. I hope this was easy for you. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.